Visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning, happy Wednesday, early break. Nick Sainert, Steve Sipple, full show ahead. Sip, good morning.
Good morning, you're laboring.
Sort of. It was, I mean, the voice just wasn't quite there like it usually is this morning.
You're doing a lot of radio right now.
Yeah, it's all right though. We're getting there. I mean, we still got 5 days left.
Yeah.
Of this schedule. So Jake texted me last night, said, Nick, how's everything going without me? I said,
what did you say?
I said, it's going just fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
I said, we're doing just fine.
We're fine.
He said, how's the show going? I said, Sip and I are doing just fine.
Yeah.
I said, good.
Yeah.
And then he said, thanks for your help. And I had said, I wonder if that counts towards Sip's total.
Jake in Hawaii.
Yes. Jake is in Hawaii till next Wednesday. So that's why I'm here.
Jake driving a convertible Camaro with Elizabeth.
Is he really?
Yeah, he got a convertible.
So he lied to me.
Oh, what did he say?
So I asked him, I said, did you guys get some fancy convertible to drive? Or I said, sports car or whatever. And he said, no. I'm one of those guys that I just need the cheapest car. Just give me the cheapest car. Get me somewhere from point A to point B. And I'm happy.
When did you talk to him?
It was like late last week.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So he had changed his plans.
Update.
Man.
Charcoal black.
Shocker.
Is that a color? He call it charcoal.
Well, charcoal gray would be a color.
Blackish gray.
I'm not sure.
Blackish gray convertible Camaro. Blackish
smoky gray.
Smoky gray.
Okay.
Convertible. No, smoky black. It's more black than gray is what the impression I got.
Interesting. So you got a picture? Or...
No, he just. Do you want me to read the text?
Yes, I would. I would appreciate
this. Is now we have quickly fallen into idle chit chat.
Idle Chit Chat, of course, sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care. Call today for a free quote for a 2023 lawn fertilizer program at 402-440-6297.
Dark gray, sleek is what I described.
Okay, sleek.
Yeah.
Sleek Camaro.
Went on Elizabeth and Jake, went on what he describes as a damn good 4-mile hike this morning in Hawaii, yesterday morning. So.
Yeah.
And then cruised up the shoreline in the rental car. Then went to the beach for 90 minutes and saw some whales. Now at the resort.
See, the good thing here, Sip, is it is 2:04 a.m. in Hawaii right now.
Okay.
So we know darn well that Jake is not listening.
Right.
If anything, he should be in bed. He should be asleep.
Yeah.
But I also know Jake, and there's a chance he is listening because he just wants to keep tabs on everything.
Really?
Jake is that kind of guy.
Is that right?
Which is not a bad thing.
No.
But I also wonder, does Jake ever actually take a vacation?
I think he's full.
Unplugging?
Yeah, I think he's
good.
Pretty full-blown vacation. Now he's staying in close touch. I'm getting a lot of texts from him.
Yeah.
Some photos. I had a photo of he and lovely Elizabeth at the resort yesterday. Yeah, they're having a good time. So there you go.
Splendid. Sip, I was going to ask you today, actually, since we are full idle chit chat.
Oh, yeah.
Real quickly. Do you get the map notifications on your phone every time you get in your car and you start your car?
No.
Okay, so I get these notifications, and I'm not sure how they started, not sure how to turn them off.
Wow.
Now, you have to remember that I am a 70-year-old man trapped in a 21-year-old body. We've talked about this. And I miss the days. I'm pretty passionate about this take. I've said this take before.
Okay.
I miss the days of MapQuest where you printed out directions. And so
you are a 7-year-old.
Why do you miss that? About this?
Okay.
Because I get annoyed when I turn on my car and my phone is already telling me where to go because I get in my car from PBA last night.
Okay.
And it said 18 minutes to home. And I thought to myself, why do I need to know the maps to get home?
Yeah. Why?
We just automatically
You should
feel
know how to
get home.
No. Well, yes, but do I have to help you turn that off? That notification off?
I have no idea. If you know how to turn that off,
Is it Google Maps? Is that all we're talking about?
It's the Apple Maps that
just
automatically gets there.
Okay. Why don't you just kill that app?
Well, because I do use it when I go out of town.
Can't you just use another sort of map?
I suppose so. But there's something about being
I just kill it.
Comfortable with this app. It's the default maps that comes with the phone. But I miss the days of Atlas underneath the car seat, or I miss the days of when I was playing baseball.
Atlas under the car seat. You had to be 5 years old
in our Chrysler Caravan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Atlas.
Dodge Caravan. That was the prototypical vehicle with an Atlas. But then I miss the days of printing out the directions on MapQuest. When we went out of town.
Sure.
Whether it was from for baseball, hotel to the baseball field, baseball field to the hotel, hotel to dinner, dinner to hotel.
Yeah. You have it all right there.
Have it all. They're all just a giant stack. And as the navigator in the front passenger seat, I was in charge of everything. But now, just through Bluetooth, our phones have taken over.
Well, I got to push back a little bit on this. I like that. I mean, I don't know how I would operate in some ways if I didn't have Google Maps or MapQuest or whatever I got in my phone. It's amazing. I think it's amazing. Now, I think we've become over-reliant on it. I've had friends that have been to my house multiple times that still will ask me how to get there, and I know why. Yeah, because they just mapped it. Yeah, they mapped it. They didn't pay attention. They didn't have to pay attention to what they're actually doing, right? They just you see what I'm getting at there?
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
But I feel like also here we are, and this is just a perfect indication that nobody really pays attention to what they're doing.
You have turned something I think very positive into a negative. I think it's good. Now think if you were an Amazon Prime truck driver. You see those things all over the place, right?
I do.
Could you do that job without?
No, I'm not saying maps are bad, Sip.
Could you do that without the electronic map on your phone? How would you do it?
Well, I'm sure they have routes and it's all computerized.
But
where they need to drop off packages.
But it would not be nearly as efficient.
I'm not talking about my life as an Amazon driver. I'm talking about my life as Nick Sainert, just a commoner, to where I get into my vehicle, and automatically I get a notification on my phone. My watch vibrates, and I look at my watch thinking somebody texted me, or I have a Twitter notification. Look at my watch and it says 5 minutes to home.
I guarantee you.
Or 10 minutes to Memorial Stadium during Tuesday press conferences. It just automatically knows.
That's amazing.
Exactly where I'm going.
I'd kill that app. I'd kill that app and get another one. But I don't. I guarantee the text line is saying, just figure out your app. That's what it's saying.
Reality is saying, totally with you, Nick. I was the navigator for our family vacations. ... 45 years ago.
Yeah, 45 years ago.
Yeah, so I just get tired of every single time I get into the car.
Well, you got to
having to be basically like feeling like an idiot because I need to know how to get home.
Well, I don't think you have to feel like an idiot in any way, except you should be able to figure out how to just cease that function on your app.
It might need to happen during the next commercial break.
Okay, because
I sat there last night going to PBA. And it was going like if I followed the maps and followed my routine, I suppose that maps has generated, I would not be going anywhere close to PBA.
Oh,
so I'm thinking to myself, why do we need this? Do they just feel like people run the same schedule every week nonstop?
The fact that it knows your schedule is a little concerning.
It's freaky.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking time frame.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
So it's just
Yeah, that's a little. In fact, that's what I guarantee you. There's texters saying that part of it's a little unhealthy.
Yeah,
unhealthy society. I'm talking about societal health, Why we should
Why do
be?
we need that?
Why are we being tracked?
I
Okay, now I
wonder-
sound a little paranoid.
See, I'm just saying, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
Like this
Don't
today,
get me started.
today I could screenshot the notifications I get, and it would basically map out exactly where I'm going.
All right. Anyway,
So,
we're gonna
all right.
talk. We're gonna talk hoops. We're gonna talk transfer portal news. We'll talk to Sean Callahan. Anybody else we're talking to?
No.
Okay, let's talk.
The text line.
Text
On of
line.
Lincoln Hotline 402-464-5685. Show sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Learn about job opportunities today at GainaTrucking.com. Okay, so Nebraska men's basketball falls 76-50 in disappointing fashion.
Great
Sid.
prediction yesterday I made.
Yeah, I'm okay with it because I think I was on board with something similar as well. I did not expect a 26-point loss from Nebraska.
Yeah, I predicted 71-64. Great
Yeah.
prediction.
I'm
done with it.
You say you don't do predictions
done with it.
unsolicited, but you did one yesterday.
All right, you were there.
Yeah, so I was there. Just overall feeling about it. Late arriving crowd, which I was a little surprised about. I think that just must be a PBA thing. Must just be a Nebraska basketball thing. Late arriving crowd. I heard
Good crowd though.
Yeah, good crowd. Eventually, 2 minutes into the ball game, it was full. It was jam packed.
Jam packed.
Students still aren't back, so that plays a factor. I think
Jam packed.
jam packed, full.
Okay.
Same difference. Wasn't an announced sellout. They said there was 15,000 plus there. There was more at the Iowa game, but it is what it is. So either way,
So it wasn't jam
it
packed.
was not jam packed. It was full.
Okay.
It was full, Sid.
Okay.
So the lower bowl was packed.
Okay.
The 200s, 300s were not. So Nebraska loses 76-50 in a game where in the first half, I mean, there was zero offense.
For Nebraska.
I would argue for Illinois as well. They started 1 of 11 from 3, Sip.
Yeah.
And Nebraska couldn't do anything, whether it was Derek Walker on offense, whether it was
Derek Walker got in foul trouble.
he did.
Left
He
the
did.
yeah.
In a game that there were 24 fouls in the first half.
I think 38 total.
And this one seems to have worried people a little bit about what this means for the rest of the season.
Well,
So,
yeah.
I think this one worries because
Okay.
not only last night's game was it where Nebraska shoots 37% from the field, 20 of 54. They shoot 4 of 14 from beyond the arc, and 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Now, when you think about that,
I'm thinking.
not good, right?
Right.
55% from the charity stripe. Illinois necessarily didn't shoot the lights out either. A team that is usually a pretty strong shooting team from beyond the arc shot 8 of 29 last night. And as
Okay.
I mentioned, they started 1 of 11.
Okay.
Nebraska, 17 turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what was the most alarming thing for me last night while I was watching it happen. Nebraska would get it within single digits, and then towards the later stage of the game, they'd get it close to 10, close to 11, 11-point deficit, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was careless ball handling mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, dare I say, uncharacteristic so far from this season,
Mm-hmm.
from this team. I mean, you had Emmanuel Bandamel just dribbling it into no man's land, trying to split the double team. You had CJ Wilcher, who dribbled it off his knee with 5 seconds left to go in the first half with a wide open lane.
Okay.
It was unfortunately just a careless basketball game that Nebraska, a team that usually thrives off of their effort, and that's how they stay in games.
Okay.
When their leader, Derek Walker, goes out and they have the 5 out there on the floor of CJ Wilcher, I suppose Sam Griesel, and Denham Dawson, Jamarcus Lawrence, and Wilhelm Breidenbach.
Trouble.
It's tough to find somebody to spark that. thing.
This was, I mean, this is, I mean, obviously the night's disappointing,
Mhm.
but the thing that people are going to get, we have to watch it as a talk show analysts. We have to watch it because we're a little up and down with this team.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it driving here because I can't come on. I mean, it's hard for me to come on the radio and rip this team because we've said so many good things about its toughness.
Yeah.
It's chemistry. I mean, they just coming off an excellent road win, which we had resounding praise for at Minnesota.
Mhm.
And then to come back now, and it's going to be confusing to listeners, Nick, if we come back and sound the alarms about the season, where just a couple days ago or yesterday, we were talking about what? What were we talking about, Nick? We were talking about postseason chances. Now, it would be a little bit, I will just say irresponsible, if we come on here and say, oh, they're in trouble. Oh, this team's in trouble. Well, what? Because of one loss?
Well, I think you look at this game and you look at how it unfolded, possibly.
Well,
so we always talk about they've gotten blown out before. This is the problem, they've gotten blown out. Well, you look at the Kansas State game. Kansas State just beat Oklahoma State at home last night to improve to 15-1.
Okay, so what are you saying?
You look at Michigan State; they just won on the road at Wisconsin yesterday, a top 20 program. Those are games that you look back and their losses.
Those losses, yeah.
Their losses to pretty competent basketball programs.
Really?
And that's nothing against Illinois last night.
Illinois is competent.
But Sip, let me tell you, when the fans are taken out of the game within the first 5 minutes, not because of how well Illinois is playing, but because of how bad you're playing at home.
Oh, I get it.
That's an issue.
No, it's an issue. Well, of course it's an issue. This game is definitely troubling. I'm just wrestling with this notion of how we can be so up and down in these discussions.
Oh, I understand.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. Do you like this team or not? I mean, we really liked it after Minnesota, and we thought, okay, this team can do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just care. Well, if you just want to get to my thought on it, it's confusing. This game was confusing, except it's not confusing that we know Derek Walker got in foul trouble, and that hurt. And we know that Rashawn Gary injured his shoulder late in the first half and missed the entire second half. Now, what's not confusing is those two elements. We know that if Derek Walker gets in foul trouble and is only able to score 5 points, that's what he ended up with, that's trouble. We know I've talked about, I guess I talked about with Strick. What's that young fellow's name? Austin?
Yeah.
I talked about it with them yesterday. I said, you can't lose to injury Gary, Greasel, Bandamel, or Walker. Okay, so they lost Gary to a shoulder injury, didn't play the second half. They lost him. That's trouble. Now, I don't know what that long-term prognosis is. Walker's out. Okay, that's bad. Now, if people are sounding the alarms a little bit, which I did get some text like that last night, I understand because the schedule going forward, of course, it's tough. This is the Big Ten, but they're in a rugged stretch.
Yeah.
This is Fred. This is the type of stretch now that will keep a coach up at night. Okay, they go next to Purdue. Okay, Nebraska. Now this is why. I'm going to be very careful here not to be an alarmist, but now Nebraska's 2-4 in the league,
9-8 overall,
headed to Purdue, third-ranked Purdue. Then Ohio State comes in here January 18th. Okay, Ohio State's playing well. Then you go to Penn State, which is playing well, tough. Then you have Northwestern playing well. What's Northwestern in the league? 3-1. Northwestern surprisingly strong start in the league, 3-1. Then you go to Maryland. Then you go to Illinois. It just doesn't let up.
No,
it doesn't let up. Now, are you going to get Gary back?
That's the thing. And Fred Hoiberg said last night that they don't know the
the
status of Juwan Gary,
right.
but that he was in, quote, a lot of pain.
Yes, he was. I saw it.
And you could tell. He was screaming at PBA on the floor. He was hurting.
He was going for a rebound, and the Illinois player, kind of that he was going for a rebound with an Illinois player, and his arm got bent back. He's already got that shoulder sleeve
Yeah,
on
the
there.
little brace thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he must have a previous injury.
Well, he heard it in the early in the season against UNO.
Okay.
That kept him out for a couple games. Kept him out of time. Just tough.
Here's the thing. Here's how I summarize this before we get to the text line. That game was thoroughly disappointing and confusing to me.
Yeah.
Confusing. What? How they looked flat. Illinois had more bounce.
Yeah.
Illinois had more bounce.
Yep.
Hawkins, that Terrence Shannon.
I was gonna say Terrence Shannon's an NBA type player.
Okay, that's an interesting. God, it's a fascinating. You said that because
he
I was
is-
laying in bed last night contemplating that. I'm not positive about that.
the way that he was able to when Nebraska in the moments that and then maybe this is one person or one thing that Nebraska lacks. Maybe that's what I realized also.
What's up?
When things are going poorly,
Mm-hmm.
who takes over and rights the ship?
Well, they don't have that player.
And so that's
They
what's
don't have a
interesting.
great player.
And now, and here's the deal: like with Illinois, when Nebraska cut it to 34-29 right out of the second half, who had the basketball? Terrence Shannon. Did he score? No. Maybe he didn't score or try to put up a shot every time, but there was a calming presence out there for Illinois.
Yeah.
And how was Illinois able to end the game on a 17-1 run? Terrence Shannon.
Terrence Shannon ends with 25 points. Terrence Shannon is like a 6'6" athletic guard.
Has
Very
the body type, which is a big thing in the NBA.
He does. He's very left-hand dominated, but he can go right. But he'll drive with a right hand dribble and shoot with his left. He likes to go left. He was 10 for 17 from the field, hit a couple threes, 11 rebounds. Yeah, he had a big game, 4 assists. Terrence Shannon was a difference maker. But they're okay. First of all, they're a little better than I thought they were. Illinois came in here 1-3 in the Big Ten, but they're a little better than I thought. Shannon, I don't know. We don't have to get into as a Shannon NBA player or not. I'm not convinced he is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
I think personally for me, off the and now this is basic, I suppose, but off the eye test, off of just watching, there's guys that glide and move differently.
He does.
Right. And
Yeah.
Terrence Shannon's one of those guys.
I'll give you that. Now, you asked a question. Who does Nebraska go to? Does Nebraska have someone to go to? Well, yeah, they kind of do in Walker, right? Now,
when you have
they did
the
Minnesota.
270-pound danger, that's when you struggle. When you're going up against 270-pound danger. Now, what Derek Walker should have tried, Derek Walker was going to be able to beat him off the first step.
Walker has beaten 7-footers this year.
I understand that, but 270 pounds.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
guy's big. He's big.
Derek Walker finished with 5 points, was
Right.
2 of 7.
No, you're right. The big man for Illinois was they were very intent, and the big man for Illinois was intent, obviously, on holding down Walker. They did a good job. Illinois did a good job.
I think overall, before we get to break here,
We gotta go to break.
here pretty soon to get to Sean Callahan of
Oh, yeah.
Husker Online. I think I sat there and I called into the basketball post-game show last night, and I said something along the lines of, when you talk about expectations for Nebraska, it's
Yeah.
always great to obviously think about NIT, NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
For me, it's, did you get a day one bye in the Big Ten basketball
Yeah.
tournament?
Okay.
Did you have to play on Wednesday?
Okay.
Or have to play on the first day? And this feels like a game against Illinois where Nebraska is going to be, they have the opportunity to hover around 500 overall
Mhm.
and be kind of in the middle to lower pack of the conference.
Okay.
They have an opportunity. They could be a fringe, fringe like playing on day 2 instead of day 1 or being back and forth. This could be a game where we look back and say Nebraska, ahead of the gauntlet that they're about to enter, would have liked to have this one against Illinois.
Yeah.
A giant,
I don't disagree at all.
Giant missed opportunity.
Yeah, well, yeah, and again, thoroughly disappointing, and I would still say confusing. I was confused much of the game watching it. I watched them against Minnesota. They go on the road and get that nice win.
Yeah.
Seemed flat in front of a packed house. It doesn't add up.
Well, and
It
that's
doesn't
what I-
add up except Illinois came to play.
Well, and so here, I'll tell you this, Sip. They're number 24 for Illinois, Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Matthew Mayer, not Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is the Notre Dame tight end. Matthew Mayer.
John Mayer is the
The
vocalist.
singer.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There was a lot of Illinois media in town last night.
Uh-huh.
And there was one of them sitting a couple cheers down from all of us.
Okay.
And Matthew Mayer, when Nebraska cut it to 5,
Okay.
Matthew Mayer hits 2 corner threes back
Yes,
to
he
back. He has
did.
only 2 threes of the entire game.
Oh yeah.
The Illinois media member, the guy that writes up for the newspaper up there
Uh-huh.
in Champaign, looks at us and goes, "That's the only reason he's in the game."
Uh-huh.
And we said, "What do you mean?" Shooting 70% from the corner
Is that
from
right?
3. this
Is that
season.
right? Yeah.
And he said that's the only reason he's in the game.
Hmm.
And if you watched it when Illinois was on offense, that man went corner to
Corner.
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 That's all it is. That's all it was.
Fascinating.
He shot a 3 from the wing, bricked it,
Yeah.
complete brick.
Yeah, he did. That's
shot
right.
shot corner 3s back to back, drilled them.
Hmm.
And so he said that's the only reason he's in the game is because he shoots 70% from the corner this season.
Illinois comes in and wins 76-50. Nobody, come on. This is not what anybody expected.
No. And I think it cause to sound the trumpets and say, let's fire Fred Hoiberg? No, I don't think so. I'm not there yet.
Sound the trumpets?
Well, you ring the bells, you fire the horns, sound the alarm,
I sound the alarm.
whatever it may be.
Trumpets usually are a happy
Now,
thing.
I will say this. I mean, if Nebraska ends up having to make a change, I don't think the hope is not non-existent, because you can look around and Dennis Gates in his first year at Missouri has a Power 5 team playing well. Jerome Tang at Kansas State has the Wildcats 15-1. There's
Yeah.
multiple. I mean, TJ Otzelberger turned around Iowa State. Now they're a top 15 program.
Nobody wants to fire
So,
Fred.
No,
I
agree.
mean, hold on.
I 100%
There
agree.
was somebody on our group text
well, yeah.
yesterday that does, but okay, I don't want to say it like that, but Fred is likable. The fan base likes him. They want, the best way to put it, Nick, is this fan base by and large wants Fred to succeed.
Mhm.
And again, that's why last night was so disappointing and somewhat confusing.
I agree.
What they do in their last home game against a Big Ten team,
Shut them down.
shut down Iowa.
66-50.
Okay.
Held a team in that game that was scoring 83 points per game, who now just got back fully healthy against you. You held them to 50 points.
Is that Illinois? Is Illinois that much better than Iowa?
Well, I
No.
said last night, no, I don't think they're that much better than Iowa. I think last night was more of Nebraska not showing up.
Yeah.
And like I said, the
Yeah,
crowd
that-
was taken out of it from the start.
It didn't seem like
Not because of how Illinois was playing, because Illinois started 1 of 11 from the 3-point line. 1 of 11.
right.
And we were all sitting up there like,
Yeah.
Nebraska obviously is going to need some things to go their way. But at the end of the day, Illinois just has to miss some shots. Same thought as it was against Iowa, and Iowa missed some shots.
Uh-huh.
But Illinois, we sat there, and Illinois is like, they're shooting 1 of 11. Nebraska should be in this game, and they're down 8.
Yeah. Nebraska.
And I looked over and I said, what if Illinois is shooting still poorly, shooting 4 of 11,
Mhm.
shooting 5 of 11? This is a 34-17 ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, Nebraska, the offense wasn't there last night. 37% from the field. 37% from the field. 4 for 14 from 3. They only hit 6 of 11 free throws. Yeah, just that's a night. We got to talk about. We'll talk about it some more. Sean Callahan was there.
Mhm.
We can talk about that with Sean. Nebraska had another loss. They had a transfer portal loss.
Yeah.
Very. We will be upbeat, but we have to discuss
Yeah.
some losses.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with Sean Callahan, Husker Online, coming up next. The mailbag, I will say this. I'll make this because we got a couple texts, a couple questions. Mailbag is still on. It is still alive. Mailbag is alive and well. So you can tweet at us, Nick_Sainert at Steve Sipple on Twitter. You can also text it into the show as well. We'll try to sift through them and get there. We already got a couple questions, but we'll talk to Sean Callahan of Husker Online coming up next.
linked to golf. Imagine Golf at Beach, Southern Hills. You can play those without ever Lincoln at golf. Double Eagle has the sensors, high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. You need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like. Just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum itself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South and their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food, let them fix you a plate. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. Like Matt Burnt Pie Tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday night, any night. Upside Bar and Lounge, 29th and Pine Lake.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the your career skills. Enjoy on-the-job income potential. Visit ASBUS.com or American
Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd wall wine and spirit for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to 27th Street.
Bagels and Joe is celebrating 30 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels and Joe, celebrating 30 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. It offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-449-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, and installers to continually build teams and benefits that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Oh, God. Ow.
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
For Sean Jackson, the captain here, for the Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in this life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relief. The team at the Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or molding? We got it. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online industry.com.
Your John Deere dealer is offering blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work at chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader and rear blade. Over $1,000 on select 2022 John Deere Z-Trax and lawn tractors. Visit your store or acres.com to get these great discounts.
Starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Early Break on the Ticket. Nick Sainer and Steve Sipple with you guys. Show sponsored by GainaTrucking.com. Head over to GainaTrucking.com. 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. We are now joined by Sean Callahan of Husker Online. Sean, good morning. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Sean. You were at the basketball game last night. Nebraska falls 76-50 to Illinois. You were on hand, part of a big crowd. How would you characterize your reaction to that big of a loss? Did you see that coming at all?
Not really. I will say the real highlight, Sip, of the day was the upgraded help in the arena. They did a good job being ready for the crowd.
They did.
As it was way better than what we had seen before.
Is that right?
Immensely better. All the stands were open, wristband stations, separate beer tanks. They had a lot of things going. Unfortunately, the Nebraska basketball team didn't come out ready to go. And yeah, it was a bad matchup. I mean, they just didn't.
Right.
It just never felt like Nebraska was in a Derek Walker getting those two quick early fouls and having to play the 2-foul game in the second half where he really had to sit the entire half. None of it went right for Nebraska, unfortunately, and then they weren't hitting shots. And Illinois is a good team. I mean, they've got good players and great length, and it was giving Nebraska a lot of problems.
Sean, your favorite food in the world is popcorn. And that, so did you get popcorn? Was it tough it wasn't hard to get to your popcorn?
No, it wasn't actually. And the Colby Ridge people, they run their own stands.
Okay.
And they've done a good job. I mean, this season has been great. A couple of years ago, they had one fresh popcorn stand operating for the entire lower bowl. That was when there was a problem. One popcorn machine for 8,000 fans isn't going to cut it. But they've done a really good job all year doing with their stand in general. And there's a full service Valentino stand that hasn't been opened in the arena since 2019.
Yeah.
The last 3 seasons it's been shut down. That was open last night. I mean, that kind of gives you an idea of the steps they've taken to kind of listen to Trev Alberts in the university, because there were stands that had not been opened since pre-pandemic last night in the arena for Husker basketball.
It's kind of a fascinating thing. We can delve into that later. We have to get to your area of expertise, which is Nebraska football recruiting out of the transfer portal. Sean, what was your reaction to Micah Mazuka, the Baylor left guard, choosing Florida over Nebraska? Did that take you by surprise?
It did, because I felt like he stayed at Nebraska an extra day, and got to Florida later. I know that worried Florida when he went out there, and you had the Baylor connection, the Philadelphia/Baltimore connection there with Rule and his staff, and Vince Ginto was at Baylor and he was there, so there were a lot of things there that looked good for Nebraska. But what I've learned, some of these transfer portal guys, the information's kept fairly airtight. And, in recruiting with high school kids, you kind of get a better read on what's going on. I don't know if anybody had a great read on Mazuka. I just think everybody kind of connected the dots. The one thing I did find interesting, that in Florida, the media wait at the airport to interview recruits before they leave Gainesville, and they didn't make him available. They just kind of blew him by, the media group. So I think when he was leaving Gainesville, they probably knew they had him locked up, and he was announcing Tuesday, and they were just letting him get on the plane and get out of there. But I was a little surprised, just because it felt, like they were going to get him, especially on Friday night when Omar Hales made the commit sign. And, I think that commit sign actually might have been from Malik Hornsby, who ended up going to Texas State. So the transfer portal, as you know, is a hard thing to kind of follow and keep track of. We've tried to do our best at Husker Online, and you still got one more name out there, Sip, and Walter Rouse, to follow possibly by today.
We move on to Walter Rouse, who started 39 games at tackle, offensive tackle for Stanford. Rouse is down to Iowa, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. We thought maybe he would announce yesterday. There was a possibility. But today, at some point, Rouse is expected to make a decision. No feel on that one?
No. I mean, nobody really has a great feel. I've talked to some guys at Iowa. I don't know where Oklahoma sits in the picture. But yeah, that's another one that's kind of like last night. And it's dangerous to make a prediction because everyone thinks for sure. Like with Mazuka, I said I'd give Nebraska an edge if I was looking at it, but obviously it was a slight edge. I mean, I think I put my confidence pick in at like 55 or 60% on 3, which is a very low confidence when you're making a commit prediction. And I don't have a great feel because I have not talked to Rouse other than through text. I do know, though, his visit went really well to Nebraska. And, they've got opportunity. I mean, I honestly think if I were to pick Rouse and Mazuka, I mean, I think his value to me would be more because Nebraska really would like to have a tackle that could add something, which they've been trying to add one for the last couple of years.
We're talking to Sean Callahan of Husker Online. And Sean, Nebraska, and Marcus Satterfield said this last week, that he wants to boost the wide receiver room. He wants to have guys that look different, and he feels like that's one position group that they can improve on. They added Billy Kemp a couple days ago. I mean, what does Billy Kemp bring to Nebraska's offense?
He's a really good player. I mean, you look at just what he did in 2020 and 2021. I mean, last year he battled an injury, so he didn't have quite the numbers, maybe that he had the previous years because of the ankle injury, I believe, that he battled. But you go back in his previous 21 and 2020 seasons, he had 99 targets and 74 catches in 2021. I mean, that's a really good number. 6 touchdowns in that 2021 season. So 75% of the passes thrown his way were caught when he had almost 100 balls thrown to him. So he's a really good route runner, really fast, really shifty, really quick. He's fielded 130 punts for Virginia over his time there, and he returns them. I mean, he's not going to sit back there and fair catch them. He's going to be aggressive as a punt returner. So I think Nebraska's got kind of their their interior slot guy they can move around and do things with.
Okay.
I mean, they probably have their punt returner now as well.
Okay, Sean Callahan joins us, Husker Online. You've watched video. You've watched film of Billy Kemp. He's 5'9", 172. The last 2 years, Sean, Nebraska's leading receivers have come out of the portal. Samori Toure in 2021, Trey Palmer this season, 2022. Is this the type of player that can lead Nebraska in receiving again? Another portal player that leads Nebraska in receiving. Is Kemp that kind of guy? Could he put up those kind of numbers?
Well, my question is, who else would it be? I mean, Joshua Fleeks, the most targets he's ever had in his career is 37 in 5 years.
Okay.
Marcus Washington's highest targets is 48.
Okay.
Alontae Brown's highest target number is 25. Billy Kemp, as I mentioned earlier, has had 99 targets. So on paper, if they were putting like odds in Vegas, he's going to lead Nebraska in receiving right now. I mean, when you look at the guys they return, if he's healthy, to kind of put it in perspective, Trey Palmer had 110 targets last year.
Okay.
So Billy Kemp's had 97
or
99.
Those are good numbers.
He's right up there. Samori Toure, who had almost 900 yards receiving at Nebraska, only had 75 targets that year. And a lot of those were the deep balls where he had, and you look at the yards per catch, Samori Toure actually had a higher yards per catch average than Trey Palmer.
Much higher.
And that's almost hard to believe.
Much higher. I got that number. Samori Toure was 19.5 yards per catch, and Trey Palmer was 14.7. Now, does this guy look like a receiver one? Your number one? Does he look like that? I mean, does he? Would you be comfortable with that, Sean, or are you just saying that it's process of elimination? They don't have anybody else, so therefore, he could be number one. Or
what's your definition of a receiver one, though? I mean,
go-to.
He's going to lead the team in catches. He's going to lead the team in targets.
Go-to in tight situations.
Yeah, I think he's your 3rd and 6 guy. He's going to run the route to get you 6 yards on 3rd and 6.
Okay.
And he can burn. They just didn't. That's how they used him at Virginia. I mean, he can run, but he's going to get you those yards when you need them and run the right route, get open, make the catch. I think that's the kind of guy they're getting here with Billy Kemp, and that's really important in football to have those kinds of receivers that could come down with that kind of catch.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, Sean. We talked about Billy Kemp. We talked about Walter Rouse. Walter Rouse has got to make a decision probably today, the offensive lineman from Stanford. Is there anybody else that's on your radar, on our radar?
It's really hard to say at this point. I mean, those are the only guys that we know of that have visited Nebraska. There always could be a transfer portal person that we're not even knowing about. Like Joshua Fleeks, announced Nebraska on signing day, and he wasn't on anyone's radar. So that's one right there that you can look at and say, wow. So there's always a situation like that, but I think with a lot of these higher profile offensive linemen, for example, like you kind of know what's going on at this point. And a lot of guys do tweet out, something that they're on the visit, whether it's a post-visit edit or just a pin drop that they're in Lincoln, Nebraska. So, a lot of people at least will do that if they don't do interviews on their trips itself. So, that's my read kind of on where it's at. And, you wonder how many more. I'm more interested too. Will there be any more guys that go in the portal here in this last week, or has activity really shut down?
Okay.
All right, Sean. Hey, appreciate the time as always. Appreciate you still coming on, although Jake is not here in Lincoln, and the guys will definitely talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, thanks, guys. Tell Jake have another Mai Tai out in Hawaii.
Okay, Sean, we will tell him that.
There's Sean Callahan, Husker Online. Appreciate his time. As always, good stuff. Interesting stuff with Billy Kemp, especially because I think Nebraska's going to be looking for a wide receiver one.
I guess he's not the prototype that I think of when you think of that. He's 5'9", 172. I think of Quentin Johnson. Who's 6'4", 210. I think of Maurice Purify, 6'4", 6'3". Going back to in the Nebraska history. Now it doesn't mean that I'm not saying Kemp's not a good player. He's a very good player, but they need to be, I guess, real good. Right.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to just see how the whole offense works. I think eventually, I know sometime this week, I want to have that quarterback conversation as well with you, Mr. Simple. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, Song of the Day sponsored by Starter Heyman. It's not a very good choice on my part. I don't feel good about this one.
Dude, okay.
We'll find out coming up next.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work at chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader rear blade. Or save up to $1,000 select 2022 John Deere Z10 lawn tractors. Visit your local Acres store or acres.com to get these great discounts. Acres, solutions for every field. Discounts available on in-stock units while supplies last.
Every child has the ability to be successful and thrive in life, but sometimes they need your help. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lincoln exists to help children unlock their potential by making meaningful matches between adult volunteers and young people. Right now, there are children just waiting for a mentor to step up and make an impact in their lives. Learn more online at bbbslincoln.org. There are children and kids right now in Lincoln waiting to get started. Volunteer today and start something big.
Lincoln Win Air Company reminds us that each member of our military individual who has given up the comforts of home, military care package from you, reminds them that their sacrifice is appreciated. Search online for information and find out how easy it is to let them know we care. This message is from Lincoln Win Air Company. This nation of the free, as long as it is the home of the brave.
It's a job. It's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely counting
back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is Sam Griesel from the Nebraska men's basketball team. I'm here to tell you about my favorite men's store in Nebraska, and that's Gary Michaels Clothiers in Lincoln. When I went off to college, I purchased my suit from them and another when I attended Big Ten Media Day. Their fashion sense, clothing knowledge, and tailoring is unparalleled. Simply said, no one does it better than Gary Michaels Clothiers, located in Village Gardens, 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather and snow to get to the arena, waiting for a line at the game, and yelling too much at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products to help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after any game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Pillar Restaurant Group is proud to announce the full opening of our brick-and-mortar venue-at-home store, Lincoln Specialty Grocers. This store is home to our brand new venue. Get the finest Nebraska house-back butcher prepared for our restaurants and available for you to take home. With hand-selected specialty seafood, charcuterie, wine, bourbon, and liquor options. Come in today to see what we have to offer at 70th Pioneers in the Pioneer Woods Shopping Center. Open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
if
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choice.
stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Just Question Song of the Day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Song of the day, sponsored by Starter Heyman Jewelers, is Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave. Give it a rating on the Starter Heyman text line. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Once again, the Starter Heyman Song of the Day is Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave, released in 1966.
66. Great. That, you know what year, you know what happened in 66? You know what happened?
What happened in
You know-
66? I have no idea what happened. I would have been negative 35 years old.
I was born in
How about that?
1966. Anyway,
How about that?
Nobody cares about that. But what they care about, what our listeners, our lovely listeners, all our friends that join us every day and weigh in on the song of the day, what they care about is that you got on track today.
Yes.
In my eyes. I mean, you were on track in some people's eyes already with Song of the Day. I thought your Monday and Tuesday songs were lackluster.
Okay.
However,
Against ZZ Top. You're against ZZ Top.
I mean, I'm okay with ZZ Top, but it's just really unimaginative.
Okay.
This song kind of surprised me. Good. It's a great song. It'll be in my head all day, which is good. I'm fine with that.
Perfect.
I love the earworm. Don't worry, I'm coming. I will say that to somebody today. Don't worry, I'm coming. Yeah. So thank you,
You betcha.
Nick.
Okay, so I was a little concerned about this one.
Thank you. I always tell Jake when he plays a good one, thank you.
You're welcome. That's 3 more thank yous. Write them on the board.
Okay, that's 10.
That's 10 now. Gotta get to 57 by next Tuesday.
I'll just give that an 8.9.
All right.
Yeah, 8.
All right. I can deal with that. Ronald Schmidt on the stream says 1, not good. Rod says, Nick, you're doing a nice job. Age 59, 7.0. Doug and Lincoln says it's a 9.5.
All right.
John gives it a 10.
Okay.
Scott gives it a 7.
Give me some towns too if they got them.
Oh, I will. Crowbait says absolutely 10.
Crowbait.
Crowbait. Cody gives it an 8.5. Always gets him jamming. Jennifer gives it an 8.5 with a head bob. Hubby gives it a 7.5.
Yeah, Jennifer and hubby, they're our
Yeah.
Capitol Beach crew. I figured they'd like that.
Yes.
I figured they'd like
Yeah. Jane in South Lincoln says, great song. I give it an 8. John Squire says that is an absolute 10.
Oh, yes.
Sledge gives it a 6.2. Kent says, questionable, yes. Good choice. Nice chip from the rough. 7.1.
Chip from
Chip
how
from
are
the
you
rough.
from the rough?
Not as bad as I am from the tee. So
good job.
I found that out last. Well,
Good job on the rough. Get out of the rough on this one. You got out of the rough.
I got out of the sand. I got out of the bunker.
You were.
Brian says pretty forgettable, 3.8.
Wow.
East Lincoln West says 8.3.
Hello, West.
Jesse says good hump day song, get us through the rest of the week. 7.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
That's a good hump day song.
Ron gives it a 2. Says nope. I was born in '67. Give me another ZZ Top or something.
Okay.
Unnamed texter Nick, great song. Kevin in Centennial, Colorado, 8.5.
Thank you for your town.
Yes.
Hello, Centennial.
Greg says 9.75. Bravo. Young Nick shows much potential. Sip.
Yeah, you do.
Phil,
Listen, for our listeners' sake, you're only 21 years old.
I am.
That's amazing.
I am only 21 years old.
You're
Phil,
very composed, savvy 21-year-old.
Although when I do the shut up sipple yesterday and I play the horns prior to
the
game
fine.
even being over.
You're fine.
Phil says, Nick, way to lay in the weeds by saying you had a song that wasn't very good. Then you come with a 9.8.
Right. You were.
Nice
were you
work.
laying in the weeds?
I was concerned about how that one was going to land.
It landed.
So
the helicopter landed.
Yeah, the helicopter did land. Okay, before we get to the mailbag, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Home for sports talk on the FM
All right,
dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, it's time for the mailbag. Send us your text, 402-464-5685. You can always tweet at us as well, Nick_Sainert or at Steve_Simple.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, no. What
What
my
is your
Twitter handle?
Twitter handle? Yep.
I don't know. I have to look it up.
All right, come on. All right, it's time for the mailbag. So we get this one from this is one that Jake actually sent me that the email got yesterday from Michael.
Okay.
Which of the following of your lifelong stats would you want to most see?
Most see.
Yep.
That'd be most interested in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 1, time spent on hold. Number 2, time at your physical peak. Number 3, time spent waiting on your wife to get ready.
Okay.
Number 4, time spent finding something to watch. Or number 5, time spent in the bathroom.
I don't want to find anything that's negative. I'd like to I don't think I want to know certain things, but I would like to know time spent at my physical peak.
I haven't reached a physical peak, I hope.
Don't you think when you were a catcher at Pius, you were at your physical peak?
I think so. Well, I'm hoping that that's not my peak.
It might be.
It probably is, but
yeah, it might be. And I probably peaked out really early too, because I was a young, in great shape. I mean, obviously you got to be. I might have peaked out super early.
I just remember the days of you could eat anything, you could do absolutely anything, and I knew I wasn't going to gain weight.
Right.
Now it's I eat a burger and I gain 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
So
okay, that's a good one.
I'm gonna go with time spent in the bathroom.
Oh, come on, we don't need to talk about
wasted time. I've said this to you, Sip. It's bathroom, sleep, wasted time in my mind.
Oh wow.
I know I participate because we have to. Right.
Sleep is really essential.
You need your sleep. It's important, right? But if I could live comfortably and alive off of 3 hours of sleep, I'd be thrilled.
That's a big if.
I wish I could go to bed at midnight, wake up at 4 a.m.
I know, that'd be great.
I would and have.
It's not function. It's not possible.
It's
though.
not.
It's possible. Somebody's gonna get on the text line and say, "No, that's what I do," but I don't know. I just think sleep is so essential. Okay, that's enough.
It is. Sleep is essential.
People don't need my life advice. Next question.
All right, let's see what we got here. I gotta sift through them. Somebody says, "Come on, people, bring in the questions." Okay, so we gotta find them. I thought we did too. It's all the way at the beginning of the show, and I lost it in the era of text. Bubba says, "Wait till you have kids, Nick. You rethink that wasted bathroom time. I cherish those 10 minutes that I take every time I go in there."
Okay, interesting.
Somebody says, "I live off of 4 hours a night. It's horrible."
Yeah, that's hard to do.
So
that's hard to do.
Simple. Unfortunately, I think that's it for the mailbag. Unfortunately,
I thought you said you had some questions.
I had one other one that from this morning, right at as the show started, but I can't find it. This is horrible. So I apologize. I apologize, Sipple.
All right, here,
We're just
I'll
gonna have
ask
to-
you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you going to play softball this summer? Are you going to be
100%.
100%. Do you play in more than one league?
Yes.
Do you triple pump from
No,
second base?
No, because you know why? Now I play third base. Don't have time to triple.
You don't
pump.
have time.
I don't have time to triple pump.
The people will wonder, what's this triple pump thing? Well, when you did a show with me this summer, you came in one day and you related this experience of second base, which you don't play all the time. And a ground ball was hit to you, and you triple pumped and overthrew the first base woman.
Yeah.
Triple pumped.
In my defense,
If you triple pump, you're in trouble.
once again, in my defense, and I've said this, the first baseman was not there. So
Not to the bag on time?
Not to the bag
On time.
They lollygagged to the bag, and I like that's why
So you
I
had to triple pump.
Yeah. So then it went. Okay, now we got some.
Okay.
The Milkman, favorite Husker all time.
Okay, I can do this. I mean, it's Jamal Lord, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I like covering Jamal. It's sort of hard. I mean, it's just kind of like asking what your favorite song is. Your favorite song on one day might be different than another day, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that if you do this with players. But Jamal's the one that always kind of comes to mind. I like the way he played the game. Oh, well, here's what I like about Jamal. Never missed a practice. He never missed a single practice. Forget game. You didn't miss games. I mean, he didn't even miss practice, Nick.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a single practice at Nebraska. Now, as far as just personalities go, I always like Buckhalter. Buckhalter was super funny. Anybody that doesn't know Corral Buckhalter, or anybody who does know him would say, yeah, he's funny. He had a great sense of humor, and he was kind of fun to deal with. You know, he was funny. He was a good, and I like running backs, and I mean that's my favorite position group, and he was a great running back. Great.
Now this is disappointing. I mean, you have to understand my scope is much smaller than a lot of people's, right? From who's
on a lot of things.
Thank you. Blank canvas. Don't forget. My first Husker football game that I remember was when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Watching USC come into Memorial Stadium in 2007.
Oh God, you are young.
So think about that. Think about that when I was 5. First Husker game that I truly remember.
So your favorite player is Sam Keller?
No. Nate Swift.
Okay, Swifty's a good one.
I loved the combination of Nate Swift and Todd Peterson.
Oh, that's excellent.
Loved that wide receiver combo.
Swifty was a good, very athletic. I mean, he was a great running back in high school up in Minnesota. He was a great high school running back. I remember I'm old enough to remember when covering his recruitment, and I remember looking back and they're recruiting this kid as a receiver. Man, he could play running back, but now he's not built like a running back.
Yeah.
That's good. No, that's good. I like that. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, here we go. Now they're flowing in quickly. Here's a mailbag. What's your favorite sporting event you've ever attended? Mine's easy. Mine's easy.
Go.
2014 AL wild card between the Royals and Athletics.
Whoa, did you?
Where they came back. Yeah, 100%.
God, what's my favorite? It's really, I mean, think about it now. I'm 50. I say 55. I'm 56. I'm going backwards. I'm 56. I've been to so many. What would I characterize as my favorite? Most of them have been work related. It was a thrill to go to the Rose Bowl.
Oh, okay.
It was a thrill to see that environment in Pasadena. I'd say that. I'd say because, I mean, I know people are going to say, God, Nebraska got drilled by Miami. Why is that? Just because it was the Rose Bowl in all its glory, and it was gorgeous, and the game was memorable in that you saw one of the better teams of all time in Miami. You know what I'm talking about? 2001. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I'm aware.
You weren't alive?
I was not. Well, I would have been alive, just not aware.
2001.
Late 2001?
Yeah.
January 1st, 2001.
Yeah.
No, I would not have been alive,
Yeah.
not January 1st.
Get it together.
I'm thinking
Nick.
2001 season, January 1st. Just move on.
Okay. But anyway, I'd say that. something's going to hit me,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get back to it. But go ahead. You got any others?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sporting event that you want to attend, easy, national title.
I'm sorry?
For me, sporting event that you want to attend, national title.
You mean national title what? Football?
For college football.
Okay. Sporting event that I would like to attend, that I've never attended.
Yep.
I'd say, you know what it is? I'm just gonna say championship fight in Vegas. I don't even know who. I would say a high profile championship boxing match in Vegas, which I've heard is incredible.
I guess so.
I've heard it's incredible.
The texter said dream scenario. Honestly, what I would say, I suppose, if we could find a way to get Bud Crawford at Memorial Stadium.
Okay.
It
All right.
It would be.
That'd be
it would be.
I think so. Now, how many people would he put in there, though?
I think pretty good.
I know, but I don't think it'd be 90,000.
No.
But so would you? Are you sure you don't want to put him in there? Why don't you just put him in? Well, we saw what it looked like a PBA.
I was just saying, we saw what that looked
and
like.
that would look beautiful.
I think it's the whole idea of having an outdoor fight.
I don't know if I'd do that.
So
because I think if you put Bud Crawford for Memorial Stadium, I don't think it's going to draw 90,000 people. I think it would draw 20,000 people. Nick,
you only think? No, I think way more than 20.
Text line 464-5685. If Bud Crawford fought in Memorial Stadium, what would it draw? I'm saying close to 20. 20. Yes. And I wouldn't put it in a big stadium if it was 20.
Okay, we got one more here. Oh, we got more that coming in, but we gotta get ready to move on to the 7:00 hour. Favorite breakfast food?
That's a hard one for me because I love them all. I love most of it. Like I like the pancakes, waffles, French toast thing with eggs and bacon, but I also love cereal. Granola.
Cereal doesn't excite me. I have a lot of thoughts on cereal.
What's your favorite breakfast?
French toast in a heartbeat. Unless it's heavenly waffles.
With what?
Just butter and syrup.
But nothing on the side?
Well, turkey sausage, big turkey sausage.
Okay.
Guy. Turkey sausage,
there you go.
A couple fried eggs.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I'd say if I had a choice right now, and I'm not that hungry because I ate 2 cookies. I'm
pretty sure you're the only one that's been eating those cookies.
If I had a choice right now, I'd say pancakes, 2 eggs, sunny side up, and 2 sausage links.
Okay, there it is.
With coffee.
A lot of people are saying 35,000. T. Farley says 35,000.
T. Farley, good morning.
Milkman and Sledge says 50,000 plus.
For
Bud Crawford
for Bud
Stadium. Yeah. Claytonia John says 90,000. Easy sellout. All of Omaha is coming. I'm not so sure.
Now, I could be wrong.
That's
on
a lot
this.
of people. That's a lot of people.
What T. Farley say?
35,000.
Okay, now if it's 35,000, do you want to put it in Memorial Stadium and have 50,000 empty seats?
Well, I think if it's at night, there's some appeal. I think it's okay.
I think it'd be novel. So you could sell me on it.
Ryan says, I assure you that a Bud fight at Memorial would draw at least 40.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, time for the 7:00 hour. We got an interesting conversation coming up, and we want to hear your guys' thoughts. 402-464-5685.
Preface it.
It's going a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation regarding Fred Hoiberg because we're trending towards
trouble.
Yeah.
We could be trending towards trouble.
Could be
Last night was, I'm going to say, troubling.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
And looking forward, barring or taking all things into account, Juwan Gary being out for an undisclosed or unknown amount of time.
We'll talk about next.
We'll talk about all that. 7:00 hour. Let us know on the text line 402-464-5685. Early break on the ticket.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you. Bagels and Joe is celebrating 30 years of business this year. With 4 Lincoln locations and 1 in Seward, there's more options for your favorite breakfast spot in town. And don't forget the Joe card for unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. Bagels and Joe, celebrating 30 years of serving Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, 3.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members increases 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's indoor golf simulator. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the places. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Renovations reminds us that each member of our military is an individual who's given up the comforts of home. A military care package reminds them that their sacrifice is appreciated. Search online today and find out how easy it is to let them know we care. This message from Rice Renovations, proud to support the men who serve our community and our country. From the Rice family and Rice Renovations to yours, a healthy and happy new year.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC Studio, heart of America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
We are back, hour number 2. It's the 7 o'clock hour here. Early break on the ticket. Nick Sainert, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. If you have been MIA all week, Jake Sorensen is in Hawaii right now, driving a convertible. A Camaro.
A Camaro convertible. How about that?
Camaro convertible. How about
What did we
that?
say earlier? Charcoal black?
No, it was. You said it was a smoky black thing. I don't know.
I don't think we said either of those things, but I'm going to find it right now.
Yeah, you can find it right now. Either way, I'm filling in till next Tuesday. So next Tuesday is my final show on the 6 a.m. slot. So I'll do it for 7 days and then hit the high road as Jake Sorensen will be back. So
Dark gray Camaro.
Okay, dark gray.
Sleek.
We got to stop saying charcoal. That's our
I know,
problem.
what are we doing?
We keep saying charcoal.
Yeah. Jake. How about Jake and Elizabeth on the islands in Hawaii? Snorkeling, going on hikes, playing golf at resorts.
4 mile hike. Jake Sorensen and Elizabeth.
And we are here.
Here we are.
To discuss Nebraska basketball. And as you previewed, teased, last night was uncomfortable.
It's trending towards uncomfortable.
Do you think so?
I do.
Because
I'm with you, Sip, is what something you said in the 6 o'clock hour where it was, I hate to either backpedal,
I know,
or reverse course on how I feel about this team.
Because that's kind of what we're doing right
but
now.
it is what we're doing. But I feel like, unfortunately, the way that the effort and the things that we haven't had to worry about so far this season were the issue last night.
Was effort an issue? Are you sure?
I do.
Okay.
Now, not from everybody.
You think that?
It was an issue from everybody because Sam Griesel dove on the floor in the first half more times than we've seen anybody in a span of 15 minutes. But I think what's frustrating was it was careless turnovers. It was the lack of communication. Sip. I was in the building, and one thing from up in our media corner, you can still hear the guys talk.
Okay.
And at multiple points throughout this first half, when the energy is supposed to be high, when it was still a single-digit ball game, and the crowd had just gotten there, so they hadn't been taken out of the game yet, you could not hear communication.
All right.
You could not hear guys talking on defense.
Gosh.
And things like that are what allow a season to spiral out of control rather quickly.
Okay, now I want to go back to something. We have to adjust this sentiment that you alluded to a little bit ago. And that is just yesterday.
Yeah.
We're on the show talking about how tough-minded this team is and that they got a great win on the road against Minnesota and that we're asking, Robin Washut of Husker Online is addressing questions of from people on our live chat about can Nebraska get to the NCAA tournament? What do they got to do to get to the bubble? See, what I think we have to be responsible to our listeners. And if we come on here and it's one day we're talking about how much we like this team, and we think it can go pretty far, then the next day we come on and say, they're in trouble. Fred's in trouble. It sounds a little bit too all over the map, right? Schizophrenic.
Yeah. Well,
but last night was a jolt. Can we just say it that way?
Yeah, it was cause for me to kind of take a step back and go,
Home game against a team that was 1-3 in the Big Ten, Illinois, 1-3 in the Big Ten, and 4-4 over its last 8.
Yeah.
Okay, Illinois 4-4 over its last 8, 1-3 in the Big Ten. They come into your place with a packed house and win by 26.
Yeah.
You
finish the game on a 17-1 run. Nebraska was a scoreless drought from the field in the last 5 minutes of game time.
You lose Juwan Gary to a shoulder injury. He hurt his shoulder late in the first half, didn't play the second.
Yep.
We have said you can't lose Gary, Bandamel, Griesel, or Derek Walker.
Yeah.
You can't. They did. Jolt. So I don't want people to get mad at us like you guys are all over the map. What we're both agreeing on here is last night was a jolt. Okay. So last night's a jolt. Then the other part of the discussion that you have to acknowledge is the unrelenting, grinding nature of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Okay, now you get hammered by 26. This is kind of stuff that keeps head coaches up at night. You get hammered by 26. You lose one of your key starters. And now you go to play Purdue on their home court. Okay, that's Wednesday. That's Friday. Friday at 6 p.m. at Purdue.
At Purdue.
Quick turnaround. And then Wednesday, Ohio State comes here January 18th.
Yep.
Tough. Ohio State's tough. They're not great, but they're tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have to go on that. It's a tough road trip to Penn State. It's a tough logistical road trip, and Penn State's a tough team.
Yeah, Penn State's an 11-5 ball team.
Hello. You're going there. Okay. Unrelenting.
Yep.
Unrelenting. Here's unrelenting. Now Northwestern next, January 24th. Northwestern comes, surprise of the league, playing great defense right now. 3-1 in the league.
They lost one of their best players, Pete Nance, to transfer to North Carolina last offseason. And here they are.
Okay. Then you go to Maryland, tough road trip. Then you go to, which just beat you by 26 on your home court. That is why last night was a jolt. What you were hoping was Nebraska gets that win.
Yeah.
Carries a little momentum into Purdue. You need momentum. You need momentum. You didn't get momentum. In fact, you got a jolt.
Yeah.
So now Fred, popular with the fan base. Everybody wants Fred to succeed.
100%.
People like this team. They like it. So all that adds up to what? Uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I think about it this way. Austin from the league says, don't you simplify it to an inconsistent team, but a team that has markedly improved.
Okay.
They took Purdue to overtime, the best win under Fred, which he's obviously referring to the Creighton victory on the road earlier in the season.
Thank you, Austin. That's good perspective.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think what last night kind of, as I said, forced me to take a step back and kind of put things into perspective. And I don't want to get into the conversation necessarily of like, what does next year's team look like?
No.
And things like that.
No.
But for this season, I mean, we saw an equation last night where if Derek Walker gets in foul trouble and Sam Griesel was unable, I mean, here, let's be honest here. What happened last night, Sip, was Derek Walker got into foul trouble, had to sit. Blaze Keita, who still is maybe dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury, came in to relieve him. Or it was Wilhelm Breidenbach, whichever one. Now, Wilhelm went on a little 11-0 personal run.
Yeah.
Which
half
was good to see in the second half.
Second half. He got him back in it.
Exactly. But now, here's one thing. What we saw last night in the first half was an Illinois defense that basically dared everybody but Sam Griesel to shoot the basketball. They didn't have to respect anybody else.
No.
Because, unfortunately, C.J. Wilcher has been struggling for a majority of the year shooting the ball. Emmanuel Bandamel had trouble dribbling the basketball and shooting the rock last night. Jawan Gary was injured. It was a situation to where when Derek Walker was out, Blaze Keita was in.
Yeah.
Sam Griesel's the guy out there. That's the only guy that they have to respect.
Oh,
at the start. At the start.
You got to respect Wilcher. I mean, he shoots it. You got to respect Gary. I mean, I don't agree with that.
Really?
There's more. They got more than Griesel.
For an all-around strong ball handler, ability to drive, ability to take a defender one-on-one.
You saw Wilhelm take over for part of the second half. I mean, they have other guys.
That 8-0 run started by a Wilhelm contested double-teamed three. I just, unfortunately,
they got more than Griesel.
Now they do. We've seen it to where they have more. But what Illinois did last night, they didn't respect anybody but Sam Griesel.
Okay, all right. I understand where you're coming
from. And it ended up working because Nebraska couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, unfortunately.
No, they couldn't. I want to go back to what Austin said. We don't want to overreact. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to overreact to this 26-point home loss to a team that was 4-4 in its last 8. Austin, you make a great point. Can't we just chalk it up to a team that's inconsistent yet is a better team than what Fred's had? Is a team in every sense of the word, is a very bonded unit. There's a lot of connectivity. We like this team. Was this just a bad night, Nick?
Well, now if we've watched how the season's unfolded every single time, the few times, I don't want to say or act like it's been a common occurrence that these guys get blown out. 3 games that they've been embarrassed, I suppose, Kansas State, Michigan State, now Illinois
Come back.
They've bounced back. And that's something that Fred said last night in the post-game press conference was that, hey, listen, for some reason, we bounce back well after losses, but then when we win games and we get a little streak going, we can't seem to sustain it. And he said, I'm not sure why.
All right.
And that's frustrating. As a coach, as a fan, that is frustrating.
Well, last night, I mean, is that do you just write it off to this pattern to which you're alluding, or is it more than that?
I don't know.
Again, I don't want to overreact, and I don't think we are. They lost by 26 at home, and they got a rough schedule ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Their coach hasn't won at an acceptable level. Yeah, I think it could get a little uncomfortable. I agree. I mean, I understand the sentiment. I understand the sentiment. Everybody wants Fred to succeed. I do.
Absolutely.
But I mean, last night, let's put it this way, okay? Can we just put it this way? Last night, you lose 26 on your home floor in front of a charged up arena that came there hoping for a big night. What do you think the AD's looking at? What do you think the AD's thinking? What do you think your boss, Fred, is thinking as he's watching that?
It's absolutely disappointing. I mean, I was fired up to go. I sat there thinking to myself, all right, it's an 8 p.m. game.
Self?
I had to be up.
Did you say that to yourself?
I was thinking to myself. I was thinking to it.
Self?
Yeah, self. It's an 8 p.m. game.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be up at 5 a.m., which is, fine, whatever. I'm not complaining about that part. But I'm like, do I really want to be at PBA till 11?
Right.
Do I really want to, and eventually.
And you did it.
And I thought to myself, myself, this is going to be a good game. This is a huge opportunity for Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's an 8 p.m. tip to where the fan base has plenty of time to go out for dinner, go over to PBA. The beer lines are going to be quicker. You're going to have wristbands, right? And they were. Sean got his popcorn.
Sean Callahan got his Colby Ridge.
Yep. And I'm like, all right, there's going to be some energy in PBA, and there was pregame, but then even like 3 or 4 minutes during the intros, there wasn't a whole lot of energy, and then also. I think I said it a little bit ago. The fans were taken out of it not because of how Illinois played, but because of how Nebraska played
early. Yeah. Well,
and that's what's alarming,
right? Well, alarming. Do we use that word? Do we use that word?
I think it's alarming.
Is that too strong?
Because
just missed some shots.
I understand. I think what last night proved. We talk about how Nebraska's now adapted this
alarming.
I think we've talked about how Nebraska's adopted this defensive first identity.
Yes.
Right. And that's going to, I suppose, keep you in some games. But I think what last night proved is that you still need to shoot the ball.
There's
you still
that.
Need to hit shots.
There's that. There's also this. And this came from a former player who's astute. And Nick, I want you to consider this, okay? This is not from Sipple. This is from a former player who played the game at a super high level. He said of the Illinois game, this is the same as Michigan State. Too many athletes Nebraska doesn't match up with. That's the issue. This is him talking. Nebraska is disciplined and solid, but not great at any position. So when we run into high-level athletes with size, we are in trouble. Okay.
I.e. Terrence Shannon Jr.
I.e. Hawkins. Yep. I.e. the big center name.
Danger.
Illinois was a little more athletic than I thought, and their ball movement was excellent, Nick. It was excellent. They and I guarantee those coaches that face Nebraska say, guys, we better move the ball against them because they're a tough defense. We have to move it quick. We have to move it. And we have to be very decisive. And you know what Illinois was, Nick? They moved the ball and they were very decisive.
Mm-hmm.
Their cuts were decisive. Terrence, very decisive with the ball. 25 points. I think it was 10 of 17 from the field. They took it to Nebraska. That's not what you were expecting, was it?
No.
That's not what you were
at all.
expecting.
Not at all. I think I was disappointed because coming off of a road win, an emotional overtime win.
Yeah.
I think you expected better.
Yeah, that's it. But
'Cause
going back to the text. No, hold on. Going back to the text.
Yep.
You say that you expected better. I expected better. Should we though? We have to familiarize ourselves better with these matchups going forward. If they're playing a team that's more athletic, much more athletic, and they don't match up with,
I think
Nick?
it's okay to expect better when you're in year 4 of a head coach, and it's a 26-point loss at home.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is not like a
there you
one-time
go.
thing.
No, there you go.
That's the problem, is that if this was lightning in a bottle one time kind of thing, or it's not a very common occurrence, I think it's one thing. And
that's what Gene says.
I'm not saying Nebraska's been blown out, throughout his entire coaching career, and I'm not saying to fire Fred Hoiberg, but it's
no, you're not. But I mean, you're not saying fire him. But
no, because
what are we saying?
So it's got to get better. It's got to continue on this upward trend. Because here's why, Sip.
I know.
When you think about these, I know when you think about these last couple years, and you want to know why we're not excellent at a single position, right? Like the former player was telling you. When you want to know why the defense doesn't respect anybody but Sam Griesel, it's unfortunately a direct runoff or direct reaction from what has happened and transpired the last 3 or 4 years.
Which is this. This is where I say we're not overreacting. Fred's record in the Big Ten is 11-51.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where I say we're not overreacting. His record in the Big Ten Conference is 11-51.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're right. It's year 4. You don't expect a 26-point loss on your home floor to Illinois, just an average Illinois team.
Yeah.
They looked good last night, but I mean, 4-4 in their last 8. That's what they were.
I just think it's disappointing because you have this team this year that has probably been Fred Hoiberg's most complete team.
Yeah.
And
it's a team.
It's still resulting, unfortunately, in a 9-8 record.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying at Nebraska we need to expect a top 15 team every single week, and you need to be ranked in the AP poll. I'm not saying that, because I think Nebraska's expectations, as I mentioned earlier, for myself, is stay away from day 1 of the Big Ten tournament.
I know you keep saying that.
I think that's a huge thing. How many?
I guess
times,
you could say it's progress.
How many times though? It's incremental, but how many times?
It's very incremental.
It is. But Sip, how many times has Nebraska been able to knock off 1 or 2 teams in the Big Ten tournament? But then they get to day 3 and they're gassed.
Yeah.
They're gassed.
Well, that's a good point.
Because you got a team playing on their first game.
Right.
It's little things like that we haven't even been able to see. And Tater says, I think Nick just wants Fred fired. That's not the case.
No, it's not the case.
It's not the case at all.
You don't want that.
But as I mentioned last night, you took a step back because you looked and you are down 26 and you have you allowed a 17-1 run to Illinois.
It was Joel. Now, Gene weighs in. Gene. And this is a troubling text. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gene says this, and Gene has been following this program for 30 years plus.
Yeah.
I don't think it's alarming. He's talking about last night, Nick. I don't think it's alarming because it's become commonplace. It's the expected. Now, that's really damning.
Yeah.
In a very kind of low-key damning, right? I don't think it's alarming, he said, because it's commonplace. It's the expected. Now, Gene, here's the thing. I didn't expect that last night, and that's why it's a jolt. I did not. I thought Nebraska would win the game. Now, I didn't probably. You could say, Nick, you know what you could say, Nick? Half expected you to say it. Well, you didn't know Illinois well enough.
Yeah.
I kind of knew them. I looked at their results. I mean, they haven't had a great season. They don't have, that's not a great team. They looked good last night, though.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they
moved
sure did.
the ball. Shannon was excellent.
I think you nailed it on the head. Decisiveness.
They were real decisive with the ball. They were.
And unfortunately, Nebraska, and maybe this is credit to Illinois, Nebraska was the opposite. Whether it was passing, whether it
Right.
was and give credit to Illinois, they jumped in passing lanes, get it.
They did.
But
They
But
did.
here's the deal: whether it was offense, the few times Nebraska got an offensive board, it was indecisiveness on whether they wanted to go up or pass out of it. There was indecisiveness on passes, just on what to do with the basketball. Let's take a break. We got another short segment coming up with Shut Up Sipple on the other side. We'll be right back on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs a winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Every child has the ability to be successful and thrive in life, but sometimes they need your help. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lincoln exists to help children unlock their potential by making meaningful matches between adult volunteers and young people. Right now, there are children just waiting for a mentor to step up and make an impact in their lives. Learn more online at bbbslincoln.org. There are children and kids right now in Lincoln waiting to get started. Volunteer today and start something big.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're
definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work of chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader and rear blade. Or save up to $1,000 on select 2022 John Deere Z-Trax and lawn tractors. Visit your local Acres store or acres.com to get these great discounts. Acres, solutions for every field. Discounts available on in-stock units while supplies last.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're
definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6555 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. touching lives, securing futures.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Early Break on the Ticket. Nick Sainer, Steve Sipple with you. Interesting conversation there at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. If you missed any of the show today or the last couple days, make sure you head over to theticketfm.com for the podcast page as well. Those will be up shortly. Yes.
Turn on my microphone.
I apologize, Sip. I kept your microphone off.
Thank you for being here.
That's 11.
It's 11. Thank you.
Make sure we update the tally.
I mean it though. You're doing a good job. That was a
I
good.
appreciate that.
That was a good discussion. It was a good discussion.
Yeah. All right, so this is gonna be a pretty quick segment. I wanted to mention,
Yeah, because we gotta get to shut up. Simple.
Yeah. I wanted to mention this really quickly though. Trey Palmer,
Yes.
according to ESPN's Matt Miller,
Okay.
is rated as the 10th best wide receiver available
That'll get you
in
drafted.
the upcoming draft.
That'll get you drafted.
Now we'll continue this in the conversation in the spillover.
Okay.
He has a 3rd round grade.
Whoa.
According to ESPN.
Whoa.
His NFL comparison, Robert Woods of the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
So they talked to scouts about this.
Okay.
And one scout said, quote, he has the athletic profile and explosiveness needed at the next level. Maybe he starts out as your 3rd best guy,
Okay.
but I 100% see him easily developing into a wide receiver 1 in the near future.
Okay. What separates him from Kenny Bell? What is it?
I don't know. I think there are
Kenny
some,
Bell
there are
was a
some-
very accomplished receiver at Nebraska.
Yes. I think there are some questions. Are you talking about how he projects the next level?
Yes, that's what I'm talking
I think
about.
there are some questions about his catchability and how he catches the ball.
Who?
Trey Palmer.
But he projects higher than Kenny Bell.
He did. You have to. Well, here's the deal. He had how many targets did he have?
I don't want to compare him to Kenny Bell. That's not my point. My point is he projects higher 3rd round than just about any Nebraska receiver in recent memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about him. All the guys at Westerkamp couldn't make a roster.
I would say more explosive.
Yes, speed, 10.2 speed.
Yeah.
It's not just that, though. He's a gamer. He's tough. He comes to play. Now, the thing I wonder about a little bit with Trey Palmer is his physicality, I guess. What happened against Illinois? They roughed him up, right? Remember what Mickey was saying? After that game when they shut him down. Illinois shut him down because they were physical with him. In the NFL, it's physical. Now, that's not to say I don't like that 3rd round grade. What I like about Palmer is, well, first of all, he runs a 10-2. Second of all, he does appear to enjoy what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a gamer. He comes to play on Saturday. You never had to worry about that.
No, exactly. And you had the little Twitter, tweets where it's like, I woke up pissed off today, and he ended up going out and having 150 plus yards.
Thank you. That's a good example of what I'm saying about he's a tough gamer. He's a competitive guy with 10.2 speed, and he seems to understand that position really well.
Yeah.
Now that's a higher grade. Now who's the most recent receiver? I should have looked this up before the show.
Mm-hmm.
What's the highest graded? Is that the high? Who's had a 3rd round draft grade as a receiver from Nebraska in recent memory? Nobody. I can't remember anybody. Am I missing somebody? Text line, help me.
Well, I mean, what receivers from Nebraska have been drafted? I mean, Wandale drafted 2nd round, but is he a Nebraska guy? I wouldn't qualify it or categorize him as one.
I guess I don't. Yeah, pure receiver. I guess
Quincy was drafted in the 4th round.
Okay, was Quincy another one? Okay.
Different type of wide receiver, obviously.
Yeah,
but he had some.
That's a good example,
prior to some neck injuries.
Yes, he did. Now Quincy Nunn was a good example.
So,
but he's not he's way different than Trey.
Yeah,
different receiver.
Exactly, different type of body.
Yeah, big body. Big body didn't have as much speed.
So I thought that was interesting. I mean,
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
I'll ask AD and Raf in the spillover time, and we'll talk about it tomorrow for sure as well.
I'll go back and look at where guys were drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But that 3rd round grade is
prior to any workouts. And
amazing.
Trey's a guy that's going to test well.
I think he'll run well
with speed and separation, his ability to get downfield, get vertical.
You know what else he has? Extreme confidence.
Yeah.
Extreme confidence.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, that explains why I went out, because I bet he was hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that kind of caught me by surprise. Now, guys do this anonymous scout thing all the time, and maybe they don't always pan out. But I thought the whole Palmer 3rd round grade and comparison to Robert Woods is the former Rams and now Tennessee Titan.
Yep,
it's kind of interesting.
7:50, we got to go.
Let's play the game show. Call now for your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Today, the category is Big Ten basketball guards.
Okay, who they play for?
Who they play for? Okay. I give you a name. You let us know who they play for. Call now, 402-464-5685 for your chance to take down Sip in trivia. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Sip, how do you feel about Big Ten basketball guards?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Not great. I haven't watched a lot of Big Ten basketball this year, but osmosis usually kicks in these things.
I will say I not the most difficult names.
Okay.
I didn't select the most difficult names. Let's go ahead and get to our contestant. Caller, who's this?
Hello.
Hello. Who's this?
It's Terrell. I want to play against Simple.
Is this Terrell?
Terrell, you sure?
Terrell?
Terrell Farley, you want to play against Simple?
Terrell, you can do this.
Yep.
You want? All right, let's do this.
All right, Terrell. Do you know how this game show works and everything?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah, he knows how.
Hey, I double check.
Terrell Farley.
All right, here we go. First question to you, Terrell. Who does guard Bo Buie play for?
Come on.
Oh man, come on, Nick. Ooh, all right. Ooh. Cincinnati.
Terrell. These are Big Ten basketball.
Is he breaking news? Is Cincinnati joining the Big Ten?
Big Ten. So Big Ten conference
Oh,
teams.
the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. Wisconsin.
All right,
not a bad choice.
This is the steal. Hey, Terrell.
This is the steal.
Who was a good safety when you were playing for Nebraska? Who was it? Warfield?
Tony Veland.
Who?
Tony Veland.
Oh, Tony Veland. Pretend I'm Tony Veland, and I my eyes just got big because the ball's coming my way, and I'm going to intercept this, steal it. I might return it all the way.
Who does he play for?
Northwestern.
There it is. All right, 1-0 Sip. Sip, next one to you. Who does guard Seth Lundy play for?
Seth Lundy. Who does guard Seth Lundy?
5 seconds.
I'm going to get this. Hold on. It's one of two.
It's a 50% chance.
Yeah, it's one of two. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Hold on.
4, 3, 2.
Penn State.
Sip leads 2-0. All right, Terrell, you ready?
Yeah, give me some football questions, man.
Terrell's a basketball
topic.
basketball
topic. So remember, this is Big Ten only.
Okay.
Who does guard Tyson Walker play for?
Oh God, I know this. So you got pressure on you, Terrell, because I know it. Well, it doesn't matter if he misses, I win.
Yeah.
Purdue.
Sound the horns.
Sound the horns. Terrell, thanks for playing. Appreciate it. Sip wins in a clean sweep. I should have gave Terrell some football questions.
Terrell, thank you for calling, though.
Terrell. Nick Terrell.
I hate to beat Terrell. I don't like to beat
how about
Terrell.
that? What do you know? Okay, Sip, you want to know the other
Michigan
question?
State is
Michigan
Tyson
State, yep,
Walker.
you're right.
Yeah, he went off against Nebraska in the first
Yep.
half.
How about Fletcher Lawyer?
Fletcher Lawyer.
That was your next question.
Oh, he plays for Purdue.
Nice job.
Yeah.
You want to know the tiebreaker?
Mhm.
Attendance for the Husker men's basketball game last night.
Well, what they put on the sheet or what it
Actually
was?
was. This comes from the statistician.
12,169.
Close. 12,756. So not a horrible crowd on hand for Nebraska.
Thank you to Terrell.
Thank you to Terrell.
What's the record? Did I win yesterday? Did I win?
You did win yesterday.
What about Monday?
You lost.
Okay, so I'm
So you're
2-1.
2-1 on the week.
2-1.
So, all right.
All right, I gotta go.
Yeah, Sip's out.
But
spillover's next.
Spillover's next. Thank you.
Craig asks, "Where's Jake?" Jake is in Hawaii, so that's why I'm here. Craig, thanks for listening, though. Early break on the ticket continues with the spillover. AD and Raph will join me coming up next.
This is Sam Griesel from the Nebraska basketball team. I'm here to tell you about my favorite men's store in Nebraska, and that's Gary's Clothiers in Lincoln. When I went off to college, I learned from them and another when I attended Big Ten Media Day. Their fashion sense, clothing knowledge, and tailoring is unparalleled. Simply said, no one does it better than Gary Michaels Clothiers, located in Village Gardens, 56th and Lake Road, Lincoln.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your garage door seems outdated or working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we need is earlier diagnosed and aggressively the better long. QC Kinetics offers a unique and comprehensive approach to restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve bones and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to qckinetics.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option in selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-09 real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy Double Boys and Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Rice Renovations reminds us that each member of our military is an individual who's given up the comforts of home. A military care package reminds them that their sacrifice is appreciated. Search online today and find out how easy it is to let them know we care. This message from Rice Renovations, proud to support the men and women who serve our community and our country. From the Rice family and Rice Renovations to yours, a healthy and happy new year.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the hood, built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rico here with HIS Auto Smith and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934. HIS Care, 7th and Van Dorn. Got you.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentee lives involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. It can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or church, always a phone call away. Today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. Some cities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to modern air-conditioned people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It's Early Break. No Jake Sorensen, no Steve Sipple. So they turned to Nick Sainert. And that's who's here. I'm joined now by the guys from what I'm used to doing the show with, AD and Raph. What's up, gentlemen? I'm not used to opening it. It feels weird.
It feels like the drive, but this
feels
is
like
the
the drive.
spillover.
Yeah.
It is the spillover.
It's a little weird right now. Don't know how to react to this.
You know what? After last game, I just want to say,
oh boy,
Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Nick, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Raph, Kumbaya. The Huskers keep breaking my heart.
And you know how yesterday it was Georgia scores another touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Today it's and another foul.
Or another 3.
And another foul.
Well, I was telling Sip this during and I know we're going to talk extensively about the game here in the next couple segments or so. But so this spillover is going to be pretty quick. But I was telling Sip that when Nebraska cut it to 5, Matthew Mayer was able to hit 2 threes from the corner back to back, and that's how went on a little Illinois answered with a little 6-0 run of their own early on in the second half. An Illinois beat writer who was in town last night looked at us and goes, "That's the only reason he's in the game. He shoots 70% from the corner, and if you watch, he shot 6 other threes. All 6 of them came from the wing or at the top of the key, bricked them." But from the corner, he's shooting 70% from beyond the arc this season. And he said that's the only reason he's in the game.
Chief, he shot that 3 from the corner like he was tying his shoe. Like it was just no big deal. Could do it in his sleep, could do it, with his eyes closed, one hand. We're going to talk more about it, but man, that was a rough one to watch, bro.
Yeah. A little bit of a.
You and Raph both from the building yesterday, weren't you?
Oh, Raph, you went?
No.
I thought you stuck around.
No.
Okay. I was like, no.
Raph, what are you up to?
I was like, no,
I was working last night.
I thought to myself prior to the game, like, this is going to be a good game. Nebraska has a huge opportunity to build off of the Minnesota game. They should show up. We've seen this team show up more times than not, and unfortunately, they didn't. And I was a little disappointed at the end.
You know what? I wasn't disappointed. What I should have kept doing. If you have Netflix, there's that new series on Bernie Madoff.
Great transition.
It was.
What's it about?
We're talking about just taking things. Whereas we got our hearts taken from us last night, dude. Because see, you were too young to remember. You were a kid because you're 21 now. So in 2000, you would have been like 5.
Yeah.
Right. If you remember Bernie Madoff.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you got to watch that series, man. Any text, and let us know on the text line if you've been if you've heard. I know you've heard a lot of you've heard of Bernie Madoff. Some of you have not heard of Bernie Madoff, the biggest Ponzi scheme in U.S. history. It was just, Raph, you got to check it out, dude. You got to check it out.
I shall.
My man was writing people's statements like on old printing paper with the dots on it. The DS, I think they call it DS something like that paper.
Yeah.
And these sophisticated investors weren't even questioning it.
Wow.
I should have watched the second series during the game because at halftime I'm like, okay, I gave him a chance to see what happened, and then it just got worse. I'm like, but then it got late, so I'm just like,
Time for AD to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get out of here.
We out. Gotta go.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be us after this,
Yeah.
so we'll just stay on time.
The
Stay
next
on
show's
time.
really good, so stay around.
Next show is
you know?
really good, so stick
We're
around.
gonna talk about Bernie Madoff the whole entire thing.
Perfect.
Madoff
Let's go ahead and get out of here for Jake Sorensen, Steve Sipple, and the guys that are usually on early break. I'm Nick Sainer. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 6 a.m. But the drive with AD, Raph, and myself coming up right after this on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week